Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Thursday, December 18th, and it is the last day of school until next year, meaning 2026. It is our last day of school before winter break, and I love this day. I'm excited. I already know I'm gonna be exhausted because it's hectic and there's a lot going on, but it is gonna be a great day. We have our annual fourth grade winter pancake breakfast this morning. We are doing our saran wrap balls. I'm giving my students their custom snow globes. We're gonna play some Minute to Win It games. We have our winter party, and then we're gonna try to clean it all up and go home and start our winter break. But you're coming along with me, so let's go ahead and jump into it. First of all, gotta love the elf PJs, although I don't remember the ankles being this exposed in the past. Like, why are the legs of these PJs so short? I got these years ago from Target. I do love them. I just don't remember having such vulnerable ankles in the past. Let's catch up on all of the things, and then we're gonna unpack some bags because all this stuff, it's just crazy. I forget every year just how much accumulates behind your desk.
All I care about is Mega Desk.
But let's start with Secret Santa reveal. So in some of my prior vlogs, I was sharing the Secret Santa gifts that I was giving my coworker, and I kind of had an idea of maybe who my Secret Santa was. And then the very last day, one of my students went out to the bathroom and came back in, and they're like, oh, here's like this gift was outside of your room. And they're walking it over to me, and I'm like, huh, they have the same bag as me. Y'all, the person I had for Secret Santa also had me. And of course, they figured it out from day one. They're like, I knew it was you because it was already at my door when I arrived at school. And I had made different tags than the tags they had provided us, which is kind of a giveaway. But I thought it was a funny way for her to kind of reveal it. She used one of my bags for me. But that was a lot of fun. I'm definitely doing Secret Santa again next year because I just love like curating the gifts and just the anticipation of like, all right, when am I gonna get my gift today? What am I gonna get? Trying to figure out who it is. I think it's a lot of fun. Over the weekend, Billy and I did a Grinch date day, I guess is what I called it. But I had come across a local restaurant. They have multiple locations here in Austin, and we had been to the one that's closer to downtown, but we had not been to a new one that had opened up more north, and they were doing this like Grinchmas pop-up. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, I've gotta book us reservations. That looks like so much fun. And then I just turned it into a whole day. So I cooked us like a Grinch themed breakfast. Basically, I just dyed some waffle batter green, but I got a little heart mini waffle maker. So I made them into little green hearts, and I put like raspberries on them. I was gonna do strawberries and cut them into hearts, but the strawberries were very expensive, so I opted for raspberries. I also used the raspberries along with some green grapes and mini marshmallows to make these little like, they were basically skewers, but they were meant to look like little Grinch faces with the green grape and then the little kind of makeshift Santa hat on top with the marshmallow and raspberry. And then I made a Who hash, and I'm using quotation marks because I just kind of threw it together. But in the Grinch movie and in the book, the Grinch steals the last can of Who hash from one of the people's, like one of the Who's freezers. And so I made it into just a breakfast hash with like some diced potato and some diced green pepper, and I threw in some ham, and it was delicious. Like, it was a great time, and we kicked off the day with that. We then put on our Grinch custom sweaters, not sweaters, they were like sweatshirts. They were like the comfort colors, but long sleeve sweatshirts that I got made for us on Etsy. They were embroidered, and they had the Grinch, and then they had Max, and it said like, boop. It was super cute. So then Billy started to put together, he's like, oh, it's a whole like Grinch day. We went to dinner at the restaurant, and it was super cute because some of the menu items were like Grinch themed. They had like Mount Crumpet crumpets, and the whole restaurant was kind of decorated with Grinch decor. And then we came home. I had gotten us some Grinch hot cocoa bombs from Five Below, and we watched the Grinch movie, and it was just a great time. It was much needed leading into this week, knowing how busy I would be. Fast forward to, this has been a week of baking. Monday night, I made some chocolate peppermint cookies to take to our staff holiday party on Tuesday. And I had done like a tester batch that Billy took into work the prior week for a cookie exchange. These came out better, loved them. They're like the thick New York style bakery cookies, and each one is like a quarter pound, but they're awesome and delicious. And then Tuesday, in addition to the staff holiday party, I had to bake up like 4 batches of cinnamon rolls from scratch because that's kind of become my tradition since we always have cinnamon rolls on Christmas Eve. And I basically like rushed home from school. I spent 3 hours like prepping the dough, letting it prove, baking the batches, went to the party, came home, and then I had to like get them all off of the racks. I had to ice them, package them into the boxes, label them. So it was a lot of work, and bless, it was like 9:30 and Billy's like, do you want dinner? And I was like, I'm just gonna eat a cinnamon roll and go to bed. But I delivered those yesterday morning to like my staff, and then I also put some in the lounge for just free grabs along with some leftover cookies. And yesterday we had our staff meeting after school, but the last one before break, we always just do some fun games. So they had us play Where's Kevin? You may remember last year we played Peppermint in My Pocket, where on that day of the staff meeting had peppermints, and it was just like a paper laminated that you would keep with you. And then if someone asked you, do you have a peppermint? You had to give it to them. And whoever had peppermints at the start of the meeting won prizes. And I actually won one last year. This year the game was a little different. Basically, they put little Kevins from Home Alone around the school like they were real small. You had to find one, write your name on the back, and then you put it onto a grid to claim a space. And at the staff meeting, we basically drew numbers and those people won prizes. I didn't win any, but it was just a lot of fun. We did play another game that I thought was awesome, and I love sharing this just in case you are trying to plan something like this for your staff. Basically, they were like, okay, this next activity is gonna take 10 minutes. Go up to your classroom and find something you do not want back. Bring it back to the library. You're gonna wrap it up, and then we're gonna get in a big circle. So we all go running, and I was trying to figure out, like, do I go the serious route or the funny route? And I brought 2 options, and it looked like most people were going the funny route. So I brought a bunch of the extra glue caps and marker caps that I keep for when my students lose them, put them in a baggie, wrapped them up. We were in a big circle, and we did a left-right game. So someone read a story. Every time they said right, we passed the present to the right. Every time they said left, we passed it to the left. And then whatever you were left with, you opened up and got to keep. Now, I actually lucked out because I got something really cute. I just got this little like bear cup, and it was filled with Hershey Kisses. Like, awesome. So sorry to whoever ended up with my glue caps. And then someone got like a wig, someone got an empty tissue box. I joked with one of my team teachers, I was like, should I bring like ungraded papers? Because I don't want them back. But I actually have no ungraded papers. I have stayed on top of that. Felt like there was something else. Oh, gamma graphs. So yesterday, because we were basically all done, or rather at a stopping point for science and social studies, I was like, all right, I wanted to do something just fun with my class. So we created a gamma graphs. Now, a gamma graphs, it's named after the guy's name. He was an Israeli artist. His last name was like Agam, A-G-A-M, so they're called a gamma graphs. But it's basically like optical illusion art. So it's this accordion folded piece, and then when you turn it one way, you see one picture, and when you turn it the other way, you see the other picture.
Your art was the prettiest art of all the art.
And mine's not colored in, obviously, but I got this on TPT. It was a moose and a snowman, so I like taught my students how to do it, and they had a blast, and this occupied them for a good deal of time. So, all that being said, I have so many things behind me that we need to unpack. So I'm gonna stand up and we're gonna start getting it all ready. Just in case you thought I was joking, this is the current state of the area behind my back table. Okay, let's start with my lunchbox, which is basically just filled with some drinks and things for our pancake breakfast. So I mentioned at the very beginning, we do this annual pancake winter breakfast where we provide pancakes for our students. Some teachers just have like frozen ones that they microwave because they don't want the mess, and I totally get it. I love like cooking and everything, so I love cooking the pancakes from scratch. Well, not from scratch, from a box mix, okay? But I like mix it up and make it on a griddle. So to help my team teacher and I today, I went last night to the store. I had to grab some last minute things. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get us some like beverages. She loves cherry Coke Zero, as do I. I've been on a big cherry Coke Zero kick this year. I kind of blame her. So I got us each a cherry Coke Zero. So we have some soda, or as she says, pop. I also got us each an energy drink. These are the Alani Nu Winter Wonderlands, and I figured it was on theme. And then for more caffeine, she likes this Starbucks, well, actually I don't know if she likes, but I thought she would like this. The Starbucks cold brew chocolate cream, and then I got myself one of the nitro cold brews. So we've got a soda, an energy drink, and a coffee, all the choices. Also in here is whipped cream. So one of them is for the pancakes. The other one is for hot chocolate, because in addition to the pancakes, we also provide hot chocolate. So we're gonna try to fit those in my fridge, but as you may or may not be able to see, I also have a big tub of butter up there, or margarine spread. It's not actually butter, but let's see. Oh gosh, all the things. Okay. Let's put these on the door, so those are nice and tall. Move that over, and then maybe fit that here. Yes, okay, maybe the sodas stay out. These I can fit, and then can I fit like one more? Come on, come on. I believe in myself. Okay, I'm gonna take this out. Put that there. Okay, good enough. And then I'll just leave the sodas out for now. Okay, then, we also have blueberries. So last year, it was literally just pancakes, butter, syrup. They would get a little mandarin orange and then an orange juice and hot chocolate. That was it. This year I was like, we're gonna fancy it up a little bit because I love a good topping. So I got some blueberries as a possible topping. Last night, kind of sporadically, I decided to make little like thank you goodie bags for the volunteers that are gonna help out at our winter party this afternoon. So these are easy to throw together because I had leftover gold ribbon that was already cut from prepping all of the like teacher gifts and everything. I already had the green paper shred because remember I made those trees for my team teachers and coworkers. Go back and watch that video if you missed it. I walk you through everything that I did. And I had some leftover chocolates from that. So I just put some of the green paper shred with the chocolates in a little baggie, and then I made a tag on Canva, and it says, parties are hectic, but they can be a lot of fun. Without people like you, they couldn't be done. Thank you so much for volunteering your time to help our class, Mrs. Emerson. I don't know exactly how many volunteers I have coming because my room mom has organized it, but I prepped 6 just in case. I feel like that should be adequate. Okay. So I mentioned doing some minute to win it games and also just some games in general. One of the games I'm going to do with them, I have a long skinny rectangular table. I previously purchased candy canes. So these are just like your basic candy canes. They're gonna each get a candy cane and they're gonna get 3 marshmallows, just plain Jane regular marshmallows. And they are going to use their candy cane to either flick or push the marshmallow across the table. And I'm gonna create different zones just with like tape. And depending on where their marshmallow ends up, they will earn points, and whoever earns the most points will win. So of course, I also then had to get prizes. So I'm gonna do this with both classes, and I figured whoever gets the most points will get this little candy cane filled with like, they're not M&Ms, these are the Hershey's. They were out of the M&Ms, so these are Hershey's Hersheyits. They're basically M&Ms. And then it was kind of awkward because the store, I did a mobile pickup, they said they were out of it. And originally it didn't say they were gonna replace it. So I went to Target and got 2 other ones, and then they did end up subbing them out. So now I have 4. So if there's a tie, I'm all set. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a second round of it or something. I don't know. But marshmallows for that and candy canes, that's all that they need. Another possible game that we'll play if there's time, I like to have filler options, is this like cup flipping game. I came across this on social media like over the summer and I was like, this would be a lot of fun. I'm gonna split them into 2 teams. Half of the cups start facing up, half of the cups start facing down, and then the 2 teams are each trying to do the opposite. So one team is trying to flip them all upside down, the other team is trying to flip them all facing up, and whichever team successfully flips them all their direction first wins. So just a bunch of plastic cups for that, and I figured if we get to it, great. If not, I can just hold on to the cups for other things. In addition to the blueberries for the pancakes, I also got some mini chocolate chips because everyone loves chocolate chips. I also have some blue sprinkles so they can put sprinkles on it in addition to the whipped cream. And then for the hot cocoa, we did have families donate most of the material. So I had families donate like the butter, the syrup, the boxes of pancake mix, the orange juices, plates, napkins, cups, all of that. So I did not have to get that myself. And we have regular mini marshmallows. But then last night at Target, I came across these. They're like snowman shaped and they were just too cute to pass up. So they're gonna have options for their marshmallows. I did go out and get the mandarin oranges. So I think this is 6 pounds of mandarin oranges. We are combining classes, so my switch teacher is gonna bring her students over. I'll show you the room setup in a bit. But this is just like a nonstick spray for the pancakes. Last year I didn't even use any on the griddle, like my griddle is pretty nonstick, but just in case, I wanted to have it as a backup. And then for Minute to Win It, we are gonna do the Face the Cookie game. So it's where they lean back, they put a cookie on their forehead and they can't touch it. They have to just use their face muscles to move it down their face and catch it in their mouth. And I've done this in the past. Usually I use like an Oreo or a chocolate chip cookie. But this year I was like, you know what? We're gonna do little mini gingerbread man because it'll be so cute. So I got these at Target. They were buy one, get one 50% off. So I have 2 boxes of those. This bag is now empty, woohoo! And then this one is a majority of the pancake stuff. So, inside, I love this bag, by the way, Costco, it's fantastic. Not pancake related, but I have my elf slippers and I will actually be twinning with one of my students. I got these just from Target and I had a student wearing them earlier in the week and I was like, I have the same slippers. And we plan to both wear them today to go with the elf ensemble. I also have my elf hat in here, which will get annoying very quickly with the bells, but it's fine, that's what today is for. I have my chef hat, of course, and I also have my little gingerbread apron that I only wear for this, but still super cute. And then I have some paper towels because if you're a teacher, you know the paper towels you have in your classroom, they don't do much of anything. I probably won't need them, but I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. I have just a regular dish towel, again, just in case. I have some extra white tablecloths, which have been just hanging out at home in my office. I will use 1 or 2 of these to cover my back table, and I'm just gonna store the rest of them away so I have them in here. Then we get into pancake supplies. So we've got whisk, we've got spatula, we've got rubber spatula, little silicone spoon type thing. We've got the pancake dispenser. I love this thing. You put the batter in and then you just click it to release the batter and it makes it like no drip, which is awesome. This is just a big measuring cup that I use to whisk the batter in. And then we have my griddle. So I invested in this last year for this pancake breakfast. I do use it at home though and love it. It's kind of a more extra long griddle and I feel like it's the perfect size. Last year I tried to man 2 griddles and it was too much. This was perfect. And then I have all the pieces and things for it. So we have like the handles that attach and the plug and the little drip tray and whatnot. Now we have a mess on my back table, which I need to get set up for the breakfast. So let's start moving stuff around and make this a little bit more organized. Here's the back table set up. Basically, once they get their plate of pancakes, they will start here. They're gonna get a napkin, a fork. They have their margarine spread. They have their syrup, and I put plates under each of those because I know they'll get sticky. They have their little toppings so they can put on the mini chocolate chips, the blueberries, and or the sprinkles. They can grab a mandarin orange, and this is just one of the bags, so we'll replenish it as needed. They can choose some orange juice, so we have both Sunny D and actual orange juice. And then we have the hot chocolate bar. Now, this black towel is where the crock pot will go. My switch teacher is bringing the crock pot. We just got like gallons of chocolate milk, so we'll put that in the crock pot, heat it up. We've got a ladle to be able to put it into the foam cups, and then they can have a mini candy cane. There are the snowman marshmallows, and then these are just regular mini marshmallows, and this dispenser I got at Target. And then this is Chef Emerson's station. So I have the griddle set up. This is the area where I will mix the batter. So as I mentioned, it's just a like box batter. You add water, super easy. I basically pour it in here, add the water, and then once I whisk it up, I transfer it to this. I know I could pour it straight from here, but it gets really messy because it starts dripping down the sides. This makes it easy because it has that no spill. You just click to release it. I have my spatula. This is for like getting extra batter and stuff out of here as well as here. And then I went ahead and put the plates right next to it because as I take the pancakes off, I will put them on the plates, and then this clear area is where we'll kind of have the assembly line so students can just grab their plate, walk over to the back table. I did also bring some just like food safe gloves, and then these are like little microfiber towels, and then I have my backup cooking spray and the paper towels just in case. Now this griddle I did get from Amazon. I'll link it for you if you're in need of a griddle. I do really love it. Now let's look at the rest of the room. I did a similar setup last year where I basically took, last year I had trap tables instead of desks, but I arranged them in like 2 really long tables. This year I split them up into 3 because when we get to our winter party this afternoon, there are 3 different stations. And so I figured it made the most sense to already have them into 3 groups. Now you'll notice there are extra wobble stools. So I already had 10 wobble stools in my room. My switch teacher brought over some more. So that way when her class joins, they have a place to sit. And then this is technically one of my long rectangular tables that is usually there. I just moved it over and joined it in with desks, and then this whole side, minus that one chair, is wobble stools. Now, these tablecloths, I am so excited about these. I came across these at a little market type thing in Waco. I guess it was the end of the summer. Billy and I went up to Waco and just happened to walk around, and I came across this booth that had these reusable washable tablecloths that students can color on. So I went ahead and got 3 of them, and it worked perfectly. Now well, hold on, let me grab the little plastic thing it came in. Okay, so it's just called the coloring table. I will try to see if I can find these online, either on Amazon or I guess on her website, and link them for you. I just bought them from her directly, but I thought this idea was genius. I've seen colorable tablecloths before. Usually they are like paper and then you just throw them away. But I love the fact that these are reusable. So they use washable markers. So I just have Crayola markers, and this is fabric. And then underneath it even has this kind of like vinyl plasticky material. So you don't have to worry about it bleeding through to your table. Students can color on it, and then you just wash it and reuse it. So I went with a design that I could use for multiple things. This would be great for like the end of the school year as well. This was like the frame design, so it just has a bunch of these different frames that students can then fill in. Now, I went with the extra long rectangle, which is 60 inches by 102 inches. And I basically have 4 desks and it's doubled up. So it's a total of 8 desks, and it fit across it perfectly. There's a little bit more extra on the sides than the ends, but very, very happy with this purchase. If I can find them, I will link them. If not, I'm sure there are probably other people or businesses that have a similar concept. Okay, so minus putting the crock pot out with the chocolate milk, I think that's basically it. I am all set. I need to just put up my slides, which I'll put some screenshots up of some of the slides. Basically, my students are gonna come in, I'll have directions that they can color on the tablecloth. They're gonna choose their seat for the day. They are going to specials first thing. After specials, they're gonna come back, we're gonna do the pancake breakfast. I'll go over what all their choices are so that they know. They're gonna enjoy their pancakes, we're gonna put on a little video, and then they're gonna go to recess, which will give me a chance to catch my breath. They will come in from recess, and we have split the time between my switch teacher and I, so we each get time with the classes to do like gifts and things. So I will actually have my switch class in the morning. The first thing I'm gonna do with them is the saran wrap balls, which I vlogged about this. I have an entire vlog all about student gifts, and you can go back and watch it if you want the details. But I have 3 saran wrap balls for each class. This is filled with various prizes and things. Basically, they will roll dice and they are trying to roll doubles. Once one person rolls doubles, the person with the saran wrap ball has to pass it to the next person. They try to unwrap it. Whatever prizes fall out, they get to keep. So each class, I will split them up and we'll do 3 different rounds. That will probably take about a half an hour. I feel like each ball from start to finish ends up taking about 10 minutes. Then I will go ahead and do their gifts. So again, this is in the prior vlog, you can get all the details, but I made them each these custom I Spy snow globes. And as you can see, there are different items inside, and each one, like this is an example that I made for Billy, but each one has a list with hints of like the different items. It'll say something to represent your teacher, something to represent your school. And these are examples of like some of the little trinkety items that are in there. So I did this last year and it's just kind of become my tradition, but I will go through this with them and kind of explain it, pass them out, but I don't let them open them until they get home because I don't want them getting them mixed up. Each one is different for that kid based on the house that they're in. So gotta avoid that. Then we will just see where we are at time-wise. That's where the different minute to win it games will come in. I definitely wanna do the gingerbread man face the cookie game, so we'll probably start with that one. I definitely want to do the candy cane with the marshmallows on the table, and then after that it'll just kind of depend on the time that we have. So maybe like the cup flipping, or I've got some other little like minute to win it type games that I can do, but I just use a timer from YouTube. You search like winter minute to win it and you can find timers, and I just insert that on the slide so it does a little countdown for them. And that should be about it. Basically, I'll have my switch class, we'll go to lunch. I'll have my homeroom class in the afternoon, I'll do the exact same thing. And then this afternoon, I will have the parents come in to start setting up for the winter party. So again, I will put on like a video for my students. Probably there's a magic school bus that's like winter themed. I will put that on so that they are occupied. We can get set up for the party, and then the party will be the last like 45 minutes of the day. And I know there are 3 different stations. So there's a trail mix bar, that's their like snack. They're doing this like Winter Wonderland sun catcher, that's their craft, and then they will play some games. So I have them already split into 3 groups and they will just do rotations, and I have a slide that kind of goes through that. And then that'll be it. I will send them on their merry way. We'll all have a very happy winter break, and hopefully I can survive the day.
Who's excited to get their holiday wishes?
So I'm gonna get the rest of my elf ensemble put on, go through the last minute things, and then I will check in with you at the end of the day. Wish me luck. Y'all, we made it. Oh, it feels so good to sit down. I think it's my first time sitting all day. It was a blast. Am I exhausted? Yes. Is my back aching in places I didn't even know it could ache? Also yes. However, it was a great day full of fun memories. And as you can see, despite feeling very tired, I have a huge smile on my face. And I feel like I created the memories I wanted to create for my students today. And that's all that matters to me. So, quick little recap of the day. When my students came in this morning, they colored on the tablecloths, and it was a big hit. They were very into it. Were there lots of 6s and 7s on there? Yes, there were. But I'm gonna take these home, wash them over break, fold them up, and I'll probably use them again at the end of the year. It was great because they kept the desk nice and clean. It also gave them something to do. Highly recommend, loved that. Then students went to specials. While they were at specials, I started the pancakes probably when there was about, I don't know, 30 minutes left of specials. And I'm happy I started when I did. I didn't get quite as backed up as I did last year, but in hindsight, I would have started a little bit earlier because toward the end, while it was fine that some students were waiting to get theirs, when they'd come fresh off the griddle, they were like really hot, and so then they had to wait for them to cool. But we are now on year 2 of not burning a single pancake, and considering these were whipped up like on my back counter using a little plug-in griddle, I think they looked pretty good. And my students were all so appreciative. They were all like saying they were the best pancakes they've ever had, which they apparently need to eat more pancakes if that's the case. But The toppings were a hit. The hot chocolate, it went well. We only used 1 gallon. We heated up 1 gallon in the crock pot, and that was enough for both classes. So definitely don't need 2 gallons of chocolate milk, but it's fine because I gave it to my old switch teacher who now teaches 3rd grade to take home. We went out to recess, and before recess, I tried to clean up a little bit, but you know, it was kind of hectic. So when we came in from recess, we switched classes, and for my switch class, I left the tablecloths out. I just didn't have time to get to it. We did the saran wrap balls, and every year, knock on wood, it works out that students get at least one thing. Now, do some students end up with more than others? Yes. However, everyone got at least one thing, and they were all really good sports about it, and they had a great time, and that's all that matters. I gave them their snow globes, and it was so cute. Like, hearing them, they weren't allowed to take them out of the plastic, but they could start looking through the backside, and they were like, I found the star, I found the basketball, and well worth it. Like, those are time consuming, but I love how they turn out. Again, if you missed that vlog on how I put those together, you can go back and see it. Then, at that point, I wanna say we had maybe 30-ish minutes. So I said, okay, let's fit in some minute to win it games. I knew I wanted to do the gingerbread man face the cookie. That went really well. Of course, I always do it at the end, and I was successful in both classes, so go me. We then did the, I don't know what to call it. I think I called it like candy board or something, but it's basically where they're using a candy cane to hit marshmallows down a table and land it in different zones. So let me show you what that looked like. Here is the table. Now, I didn't have the table here. I moved it out. I actually had it kind of on my like back counter area, but I basically just used painter's tape, and this was the area that their marshmallows had to start. So they had to put their 3 marshmallows behind the tape. If it landed in this front area, they didn't get any points. If it went off the table at any point, they didn't get any points. If it landed here, that was 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, and 5 points. We did have a couple of 5-pointers. I think the student who won when we did it in the morning had 7, and then, not 7 5s, but they had 7 points. And then in the afternoon, the student got 10 points. Highly recommend. All you need are marshmallows, candy canes, and then a table. You just put some tape down, and you can make the point values whatever you want. And you could obviously adapt this and do it for other things. It doesn't have to just be candy canes and marshmallows. We actually did something similar at a staff meeting where we had to roll a water bottle down the table, and depending on where it landed, you would earn points. So quick, easy game that you can throw in at any time. And then that was basically it for the games. We didn't have time to do the cups, so I'm just gonna stash those away. I'll use them again next year. And I do have leftover candy canes, which I was looking, and these are good until February of 2028. So we're just gonna put these in my closet and use them again next year. Now, during the day, we did this thing called Mystery Singer, I think is what they were calling it, but basically, they would come over the intercom throughout the school, and they'd say, all right, you know, it's our next mystery singer, kind of like The Masked Singer, if you've ever seen that show. But it was someone in the staff, they would sing a song, and then they'd say, okay, whoever the 6th caller is, if you guess right, you win. And so we would all have to call the front office, and they would be like, you know, 4th caller, 5th caller, and then if you were that number, you got to guess. And they did 4 rounds of it. The first round I couldn't even get through. The second round, they said 8th caller, and you know, I'm sitting there dialing, my kids are all like watching me. It was right in the middle of pancake breakfast. So I've got pancakes on the back, cooking on the griddle, and I'm sitting here calling, and they said 8th caller. We guessed correctly, and we won. So my class all won pencils, and then I won a Starbucks gift card, which was awesome. And then our party was great. I had amazing parent volunteers. They had it under control. I put on Magic School Bus while we set up, and we did 3 rotations with a craft, some games, and then they had a little trail mix bar, super cute. We spent like 10 minutes at each station, but toward the end, they didn't need quite as much time. And then the plan was to play a game as a class. It was called Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, but it was with cups. So basically you would have like a partner, and they would say, you know, head, shoulders, knees and toes, and you would do that. And then they would say cup. Whoever the first person was to grab the cup, because it was right in between the partners, would move on to the next round. And it was kind of tournament style. But we didn't even get to that because we were celebrating a student who had a birthday or will have a birthday over break. So by the time we got there, like cookies and things passed out and ate them, we had like 5 minutes until dismissal. So I was like, hey, parents, come sign out your kid and go. Like, we're not even gonna worry about it. But That being said, the day was fantastic. I've gotten everything pretty much packed up. I need to grab things and carry it out to my car, but I'm not gonna rush out of here because first of all, Billy is out of town. He left earlier today to go back east to visit some family, and unfortunately I couldn't go because of having to teach here today. But he's gonna be gone until Monday night, so I have the weekend for just a me weekend, which I think will be great, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not in a rush to get home because there's no one at home, but I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna get my thank you cards all written for gifts that I received. I need to move their desks back because right now they're in those 3 groups, and although I kind of like it like this, however, I need to move that table, so I'll have to move at least some things around. And then depending on time and how I'm feeling, I've got like social studies packets I need to separate. I don't know, but tomorrow is technically our last day as teachers before break. But there's like a checklist of things, and once you've got your checklist done, you are on your way. That all being said, I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed it, please give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And I will see you next year because this is gonna be my last vlog. I don't plan to vlog at all over winter break. Billy and I will be doing some traveling, and honestly, I'm just gonna be kind of catching my breath because it's been a whirlwind the past few weeks. But I will see you in 2026 when we come back in January. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I'll catch you in the next one next year.